What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting, wardrobe, y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all of this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to, I thought Lil Murder was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Clifford, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zam's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup clumped everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah, looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see. Can I see? Get me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue, jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Yeah, here we are. Here the hell we are. What's up, people? What is going on? Welcome to Run Your Mouth. I am L Teddy 27. I feel like I need to move my microphone. I feel like it just be too far away, y'all. Move my microphone and make it a little so y'all can hear me a little better. Does that sound better? Sometimes I feel like this microphone just don't be close enough to my mouth. So I'm gonna move it. Hold on. Okay, that might work out a little better. All right, can y'all hear me better like this? Is that better? Anyway, welcome to Run Your Mouth. I am L Teddy 27. Today is Thursday, August 7th, and we are here to give you the news, to break down the news and top stories, everything that's been going on since you all have been at work and all of those things. We're going to do it like only we can. We're going to get in and get out, do all of the things. What I need y'all to do right now is go ahead and hit the like button, please, ma'am, please, sir. And whatever your pronouns, it may be he, she, they, Mr., Ms., Mix, whichever your pronouns. Please do all of the things that you are required to do, my wonderful pupils. it's time to get the day started. And we definitely need to get into the algorithm, okay? Into the algorithm. Anyway, let me say hey to y'all, and then we'll get this party started. Y'all, listen, I ain't gonna even sugarcoat it for you. Y'all, listen. The sugar spike segment today is certainly spiking. Do you hear me? I mean, I'm not gonna even lie to y'all and say I'm not gonna spike out. There are a couple stories. There are actually several stories in the sugar spike segment that I know is gonna spike me out. Let me go ahead and get my bag of high chews ready now. You know, I'll be looking for the grape ones because grape is like one of my favorite flavors in this bag. And I can't find them. Did I eat all the grape ones? Lord. Animal grape. Oh, there go one. I'm just going ahead and getting myself prepared. I hope that you're doing the same thing because I'm telling you now, we got some real spiky stories here. I suspect y'all are gonna be spiking out. And I don't want y'all to say that you were not prepared. I do not want you to say that I did not adequately uh, 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 prepare you for what was to come. Now, listen, we gonna get through this as best we can, and then we're gonna move on with our day. I'm gonna say hey to y'all, and then we'll go ahead and I guess get this party started. I ain't even got everything set up over here, y'all. Yet, y'all, listen. I was working until the last second to get everything up and functional for y'all, and I'm stalling y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I'm stalling because I have no faith and no confidence that I won't be over here screaming, that I won't be over here losing my damn mind with all of the sugar spiky stories that we have. So y'all pray my strength in the Lord. Um, yeah. Anyway, Demetria, my love, my boo, my doll. You are first. Pleasure to have you here as always. Universal Goddess, how are you, boo? Hey, my love. We got Tracy W in the building as usual. Crazy Homebody Girl is here. Hey, The Informed, what's going on, sir? You all right? Child, you know that made the dossier. You know The Informed. You know that made the dossier. And we gonna break that down today. You know that. Hey, my love. Hey, boo. You know, I like it when you talk to me the right way and call me boo like you're supposed to. That just gave me a good feeling down under. You know, let me make sure I got something on this chair to soak up, you know, what we got going on. Now that Cam's done officially called me his boo. Y'all saw it. Y'all see it on the y'all see it on the screen. I am boo. And if anybody else look at him sideways, I'm gonna have to cut you. Okay? I don't play by mine's is. Not mine, mine's is. Hey, Volvo. Hey, Cookie. Hey, Tamara. What's going on, beautiful? Jeannie is here. Hey, boo. Hey, Savon. What's going on? Angela is here. How you doing today, sweetheart? Hey, Paula. Paula, if this your first time here, say hello to the people. People, y'all say hello to Paula. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I recognize you from the chat, but we love people who is their first time. And we want to say hello to you. Hey, Sharice. Y'all okay over there on the West Coast? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Montrez, what's good, bruh? What is up, Green Girl? I'm glad to see you. We got Candace F here, all the way from the DMV. And, of course, bringing it in all the way from the ghetto. Talking about the ghetto. Ow, the ghetto. Chef Don Don, how are you today, sir? Very well, I hope. Demetria said her pronoun is that motherfucking lady. Get it right. Okay. And listen, you ain't got to yell at me. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with it, Demetria. I'm just here reporting. That's it. Felicia, how you doing today, beautiful? You all right? Ciao. You got your butter pecan iced coffee from Dunkin' and your reefer chow. I told you I can't do iced coffee. My coffee got to be hot. I'm sorry. I can't do the ice. Hey, Spicy Original. How are you today, my love? Karen D, I'm glad to have you. What did production do? Wait, what happened? Hey, C Golden, what's up? Ciao. Ciao. We gonna get to it, crazy homebody girl. Yeah, you need a stiff one today, Candace F. Uh-huh. Hey, Butterfly, what's going on, beautiful? You all right? Mm-hmm. Tracy C, how are you today, my love? Rosanda, I'm glad to see you here. Hey, Precious Jewel, glad to have your face in the place as well. Go ahead and put a Shondo in the chat. Let me know you're ready. If you ain't ready, I'm ready. Larry ready. I'm ready. Everybody should be ready. Hey, Kawale, what's going on, love? Uncle Jay, you all right? Listen, we're going to talk about Kelly Clark Skank today, too. Yeah, Kelly Clark Skank made the dossier today as well. So, yeah, we have to cover her. It looked like we're ready to get this party started. So, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, I bring to you the late great Larry Myers to help us usher in our Sugar Spike segment.
You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So love the world. I want to fight. That he gave. His only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! How would somebody help me?
Jesus. Thank you, Larry. So we start off our Sugar Spike segment today with the new tariffs. Hey, Symmetry, what's going on? Harold, no, you can't be quiet rolling up in here, changing avatars and shit. Harold. Hey, D Johnson, what's going on? Hey, Pinky Tiki. So listen, we start off with the fact that today starts a new set of tariffs from your president, Donald John. After months of delay, Donald John's sweeping global tariffs are now in place, hitting thousands of everyday goods. What's affected, what's exempt, and how much more could Americans end up paying? Well, let's try to get into some more of that. After Trump marked the moment where he implemented his global tariffs on Truth Social, posting the following quote: "It's midnight. Billions of dollars in tariffs are now flowing into the United States of America." End of quote. The new tariffs range from 10 to 41% across 70 countries. That's 70 countries. With the average effective rate now above 17%, according to the nonpartisan organization Yale Budget Lab. Thank you, Kawale, for your cash app for my hot coffee. I appreciate that, love. She say, here's somebody for a hot coffee. Thank you, my love. And I thank you so much for contributing to the platform. Y'all know we be trying to keep the lights on over here. Thousands of everyday items will be impacted, from appliances and cars to food, furniture, and toys. Some items are exempt, though, thanks to existing trade agreements with Canada and Mexico. This includes certain oil and gas imports and some smartphones. Yale estimates the new tariffs will cost the average U.S. household up to $2,400 this year. This year, with the biggest price hikes on clothing and footwear. Consumers could see clothing prices increase by 38% and shoe prices rise by 40%. Just in case, just in time for school shopping. Now your president says he's not done yet. Yesterday, he announced 100% tariff on computer chips and semiconductors, a move likely to drive up costs on electronics, cars, and appliances. There are some exceptions, though. According to him, he said, quote, "We'll be putting a tariff on approximately 100% of we'll be putting a tariff of approximately 100% on chips and semiconductors. But if you're building in the United States of America, there's no charge, even though you're building and you're not producing yet." End of quote. The AP Associated Press reported big tech firms have already committed about $1.5 trillion in U.S. investments since Trump returned to office in January. And there's your update on the tariffs. All of those clothes and shoes will be the ones that end up bearing the brunt of this. I have no reason to believe, and Cams, I know you work in this industry and you know more than I do, but I have no reason to believe that he's really going to go through with that 100% tariffs on chips and semiconductors, because he's too ignorant and ill-informed enough to realize and understand just about everything in someone's household probably has a chip or a semiconductor in it. There's literally too many things that we utilize that have chips and semiconductors in them. Things that are actually made in America have chips that are shipped in or imported from other countries, have chips and semiconductors that are imported from other countries. So it's not just going to affect the chips and the semiconductor, it's going to affect the price of all of the things that have a chip or a semiconductor in it. These people are just stupid. They are just stupid. Terrence, what's good, bro? Hey, Catherine Powell. Hey, Janae. Hey, Paul. Ciao. I don't know. Hey, LC, listen. Everybody getting clothes from Walmart next year? I don't know. I have no idea. I just don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you need to get it now. But I for some reason I just do not. They don't call him Taco Trump for no reason. Taco standing for Trump always chickens out. They don't call him that for nothing. I just fully don't expect that 100% tariffs on semiconductors to go through. I just don't expect that to happen. I'm just saying. Listen, take your clothes to Goodwills, take them to a good cleaners, and call it a day. Even Walmart has gone up. They're taking off the perforated part of the tags and they're making up a different price. Interesting. Hey, lovely 31 Blueprint. Listen, I'm just trying to prepare y'all for what's to come. In more news, now this is where we get to the spiky stuff. The next few stories are things that will directly affect you, your family, your loved ones, and your lives. Anytime you see FEMA sprawled across the screen on a Run Your Mouth, more likely than not, 99 times out of 100, it ain't good, especially under this administration. So the fact that I have FEMA on the screen should be alarming. So go ahead, regulate your sugar levels now while I give you this next story. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, is temporarily transferring personnel from the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, just ahead of the peak of hurricane season as it seeks to speed hiring for immigration officers. DHS is detailing roughly 100 people from FEMA's human resources and security teams to help process applicants at U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement amid a bid to hire 10,000 extra officers. Quote, under President Trump's leadership and through the One Big Beautiful Bill, DHS is adopting an all-hands-on-deck strategy to recruit 10,000 new ICE agents. To support this effort, select FEMA employees will temporarily be detailed to ICE for 90 days to assist with hiring and vetting. End of quote. 90 days from right now is the entire peak of the fucking hurricane season. You stupid ass dick fucks. Like, I just want us to wrap our brains around that. 90 days from now will put us into what, November? We'd be at the beginning of November. Now, hurricane season doesn't end until November 30th. However, the peak of hurricane season starts at the end of October, at the end of August, and goes until about the end of September. Yeah. So we have these stupid ass motherfuckers, and I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't be cussing like this, but I just don't know. I ain't even finished reading the story, y'all. I'm spiking out because so many of us live in hurricane prone areas or have family members that live in hurricane prone areas, and during the height of hurricane season, just when everything is going to start to ramp up, you decide that that's the right time for you to remove personnel from FEMA and send them over to ICE. Hey, Mamiana. Like, I'm trying so hard to let me take my first high chew and just go ahead, just regulate my sugar level now, because I'm here. We are here. The fuck we are. Mm, mm, mm. Let me finish this story. Then she has the audacity to say the following. She has the audacity to say the following. And this is about the people she's taking from FEMA. Their deployment will not disrupt FEMA's critical operations. FEMA remains fully prepared for hurricane season. Really? And that's a direct quote. I just don't understand. Now, this is on top of the fact that y'all already cut 2,000 jobs and 2,000 people from FEMA. You already cut FEMA down by 2,000 people. And then you're taking more of those people because your concern is immigration, right? Mind you, here's a news flash. They still are nowhere near deporting the number of immigrants that Obama deported. Even with all of this fuck shit, even with tens of billions of dollars that has gone into the coffers of the Department of Homeland Security and ICE, they still have not deported the number of immigrants Obama did in his first year. So my point is, you don't have to give them all of this money. We don't have to have all of this Gestapo type disappearing people jumping out of the back of rented Penske trucks like y'all jump out boys or some shit. We don't need all of that. If you just want to deport immigrants, you can do that. You don't need no extra personnel. You don't have to have all of these moments where you're just trying to get a soundbite, or you're just trying to make the evening news to show that you're cold and callous. You don't have to do that. You don't have to take personnel from essential agencies in order to deport people. But here we are. Here the fuck we are. Hey, Ravine. Here we are. They absolutely do. The informed. They absolutely do. These people are sick. They are absolutely sick. Let me move on. I'm spiking. Let me move on. But I just wanted y'all to know that I did not, and that's something. As I go back to this story, this is something right here that could actually affect lives. People are going to die. We already have hundreds of people that died over in Texas. Already. Natural disaster washed through there, killed hundreds of people, dozens of little white children, little white girls drowned under a wall of water. And this administration was playing around. Christy Nome, the head of FEMA, said they couldn't even deploy personnel and or start to give assistance until it cleared Christy Nome's desk, because she's not going to approve anything over $100,000 without her personally doing it, approving it. Damn the fact that people have died. They don't care. They don't give a shit. Search and rescue with FEMA. Yeah, they literally said we had to wait for like 3 or 4 days until she approved it. So if they are willy-nilly willing to have little white children drowned and not send any FEMA help, not send any federal assistance, willing to watch these babies die, wait 3 and 4 days before they sent search and rescue. And these are their white babies. What the fuck you gonna do? They gonna do the next time there's a hurricane in Houston or Louisiana or Miami or Charleston or Mobile or any other area along the hurricane parts prone areas of this country where they have a lot of us, what you think gonna happen then? I just want y'all to realize what's going on here. We have to save ourselves because these people want us to die. Moving on, it doesn't get any better from here, people. I'm not going to I told you it was not going to get any better from here. Here's a scarier thought. I'm not going to read the headline. I'm just read the article because the headline alone scared the shit out of me, and now I have to read the article. So y'all brace yourselves. Brace yourselves for this one. The gentleman you see on your screen is Energy Secretary of the Department of Energy, Chris Wright. He indicated this week that Donald John's administration is reviewing and could seek to change climate reports. In a Tuesday evening appearance on CNN's The Source, he was asked why the administration removed past versions of the National Climate Assessment from government websites. He said, quote, because we're reviewing them and we will come out with updated reports on those and with comments on those, end of quote. When reached for comment, the Energy Department declined to provide more information on the review efforts. Instead, spokesperson Andrea Woods referred news outlets to remarks from Chris Wright during that interview on CNN. So basically, they're going to go back and change old climate reports, the actual reports that were released from scientists and climate experts that did the work, did the science and reported on it. They're going to literally go back and change old climate reports, and that's what your energy secretary is saying that they're going to do. That's why they removed them. So basically, instead of having real substantive science that warns people, hey, Shay W, and tells people this is the history, here's the climate, a history of what's going on with our climate and or climate change, they are going to go back and change actual scientific reporting to fit their narrative. Let's be clear. Meteorology and the study of the climate and weather are based on previous and past reporting. That is how all of the different weather models and forecasting work where they can look at trends and analyze the reports and the reporting of climate reports from the past. And so now you have a federal government that's changing the science. I know, and this is not something that makes front page news, but I don't think people really fully understand how dangerous this administration is. These people are dangerous. The most dangerous thing that this administration is doing is things that involve stuff like this, things that they're doing at the CDC, things that they're doing at the NIH, things that they're doing with at the Department of Energy with this and the climate reports, things that they're doing with the National Weather Service, things that they're doing with NOAA. They are literally eliminating the scientists from their positions. They are no longer allowing reputable, accredited scientific entities, scientific journals to add to the federal archives the reporting and the information that's needed to report on things that can save lives. Climate change is real, and you have an American federal government that's saying not only do we not believe in climate change, that's not enough. We have to go back through all of the old climate reports and change them so that they can support what we've said. So here's the news flash. 30, 40 years from now, when people go back and say, hey, let's see the trends from back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s with regard to science, and the reporting that they're going to get will be falsified. These people are dangerous. And what they bank on is they bank on trying to have an ill-informed and uneducated population, so that people don't give a damn about, oh, they just changing the climate report. It doesn't matter. They expect for people not to care and understand that the science that people have taken for granted, that people never had to think about, that people just knew would always be there, will no longer be there. We've gotten really spoiled, and we took for granted that things that have always just been accepted. Science is something, hey, Ms. Bathing, that people just didn't argue on either side of the aisle. The science is that science. You could say, I don't want to believe that, and willfully choose to be ignorant on something and not believe it. But people on both sides of the aisle said, that's just a kooky, crazy scientist. But for the American public, I don't think they understand how important this is to daily life. Picking up your phone and looking and seeing, what's the weather forecast for tomorrow is taken for granted. Turning on the television and having the meteorologist tell you what the weather is going to be is taken for granted. They just assume that science is always going to be there. It's always going to be okay. I think we as a people don't realize there are places, go to places like Mexico City and other cities that have been crippled because of air pollution and climate change and gases that cut into the ozone layer. There are places where you literally cannot breathe normally. You will go there and start to almost hyperventilate. There are places on this planet like that. And we've taken for granted that our federal government for decades now have had things in place that we haven't had to think about. Nobody knows or gave a damn about what the Department of Energy does. Nobody even could tell you the name of the energy secretary. Nobody knew who the secretary of the Department of Interior is. Nobody knew who or what was the head of the National Weather Service, because these were accepted things that we just thought, oh, that's science. Science is always going to be there. And now they're removing this. And by the time people realize it and it begins to affect their everyday lives, it will be too late. But here we are. Here the fuck we are. I'm just saying. And they're stupid enough to believe that their money and or their wealth will keep them away from what Mother Nature may or may not have in store. But here we are. In more news, well, Governor Greg Abbott and Senator John Cornyn of the great state of Texas have both indicated that the FBI is now involved in tracking down the Texas Democrats that fled to keep them from redistricting. Governor Hot Wheels said today that the FBI is tracking down Democratic state lawmakers who fled the Lone Star State as the Republicans look to return them to the state capital. He said, he wrote on Truth Social, on X, formerly Twitter, quote, Texas DPS and the FBI are tracking down the derelict Democrats. They will be taken directly to the Texas Capitol. Those who received benefits for skipping a vote face removal from office and potential bribery charges. In Texas, there are consequences for your actions, end of quote. Senator John Cornyn of the great state of Texas earlier today said the FBI had approved his request for them to help law enforcement agencies track down the Democrats who fled the state over the weekend to block Republicans from passing a House map even friendlier to the Republicans. The FBI declined to comment to news outlets about what Senator Cornyn's statement means or if it plans to speak publicly about it. It's also not clear what the FBI has agreed to in terms of helping the Republicans. Now, experts say and express skepticism that the FBI even had the jurisdiction to help Texas Republicans in forcing Democrats to return to the state. One individual, Richard Painter, who served as associate counsel to the president in the White House counsel's office during the former President George W. Bush's second term, he said, "quote I don't see why the FBI would be involved in this at all. I mean, this is Texas politics, and the FBI has no business trying to enforce Texas state law. The only federal law that I think is being violated in Texas and in Illinois and several other states is voting rights. I think gerrymandering violates voting rights, but the U.S. Supreme Court's not willing to do anything about it." End of quote, he said. I I don't see how you can send federal agents for a state matter unless they have violated federal law. The Federal Bureau of Investigations cannot be involved. Right, that's the most they can do, Terrence. That's the most they can do. They cannot go and try to enforce Texas state laws. That's not how this works. But they'll get on the television and blather and bloviate about and try to have a moment on television. Sure, I'll keep you posted on this. In more redistricting news. Oh, yeah, because everybody wants something. Everybody wants them a piece. Florida, who always follows Texas, Florida says, "Oh no, you must have forgotten we are the second cog in the holy trinity of racism, discrimination, and bigotry, with Texas being the first pin in the trinity and Florida being the second one in the holy trinity of racism, bigotry, and discrimination." Now, the guy you see on the left there in the pinstripes, that's Florida House Speaker Daniel Perez. Citing a recent court ruling on the state's congressional map, State House Speaker Daniel Perez said today he's creating a select committee to look at drawing up new districts 7 years ahead of the normal schedule. Quote, exploring these questions now at the mid-decade point and would potentially allow us to seek legal guidance from our Supreme Court without uncertainty associated with deferring those questions until after the next decennial census and reapportionment. End of quote, he said in a memo. Florida's decision to enter the fray over redistricting comes amid a political battle sweeping the nation from New York to Texas, Indiana, and California. The White House has pressured Republicans in Texas to enact a new congressional map that would generate up to 5 new GOP seats in that state. Republicans already hold a commanding 20-8 congressional delegation margin in Florida, thanks to a map muscled into law 3 years ago by Governor Governor DeSantis that flipped 4 seats. The GOP also has a supermajority in the Florida legislature, and there are not enough Democrats to block lawmakers from passing a new map. Governor DeSantis has to sign off on any changes to the congressional map, but he has already said he is open to redrawing the districts after the Florida Supreme Court upheld the map. We just got the ruling from the Florida Supreme Court earlier this week. That just came out, I believe, Monday, that they upheld the gerrymandered maps that Governor DeSantis had put out. Now, let's be clear. We covered the gerrymandering of this map. We covered the Florida map, the fact that the Florida legislature put out a map that turned over 2 seats from Democrat to Republican, and Governor DeSantis said, fuck y'all, I'm not going to approve that map because it ain't red enough for me. And he ended up drawing a new map that flipped not 2 seats, but 4 seats red. And they have an actual district that goes all the way from the Georgia state line, Florida line, state line, all the way down to Orlando area, just north of the Orlando area. That's how gerrymandered this stuff is. And the Florida Supreme Court upheld it. That just came down Monday. The ACLU and other organizations sued Governor DeSantis for that. So they just got the okay for the map that was already gerrymandered, and now they're talking about doing it again right now, some 7 years before they're supposed to do it again. They're not scheduled to do this again because Florida law says that you're supposed to redistrict 2 years after the census. Here we are. Now, this guy Perez, yeah, he wanted them Miami Cubans. Yeah, he wanted them Cubans. Yeah. Yep. Here we are. Now, I told y'all the Dems, they need to stop trying to play nice with these people. Y'all need to just go on ahead and go to every blue state and even some purple states like Minnesota, like Michigan, like Wisconsin. And if you have a Democratic legislature and a Democratic governor, force that shit through. I don't give a shit. Pennsylvania, all of these blue states or purple states. In more redistricting news. Oh, yes, because I told you everybody wants some. Everybody is getting some. Missouri is the next on the map that wants to redistrict, apparently. According to multiple reports surrounding Missouri's 2 biggest cities, St. Louis and Kansas City, Republicans, including the governor, they are all behind the idea of redistricting, while Democrats like those in Texas are crying foul. No official map has been released, and when it comes to House seats, Missouri has 6 Republicans and 2 Democrats. Let me say that again. They only have 2 Democrats in the whole state, 2 Democratic seats in the whole state. And they said, fuck that. We don't want none. We may give y'all one. And they're trying to redistrict that. 8 seats, 6 of them blue. 6 of them red, 2 of them blue. Now, the thing about this that's so egregious is in many of these red states, there are actually more registered Democratic voters. For example, in the great state of Texas, I believe there's some 8 million. Wait, how many? I registered. Hold on. So in the great state of Texas, right? There are a total of 17 million registered voters, right? 8 million of them are Democrat. 6.5 million of them are Republican. So in a state where there are 1.5 million more Democrats than Republicans, they want to gerrymander this to disenfranchise the majority of registered voters. The Informed says it's the same in South Carolina. Let me look up the South Carolina numbers. In South Carolina, there are 3.5 million voters. There are 1.052 Democrats and 1.589 million Republicans. So there are more Republicans in South Carolina, according to this, and I'm getting this from the Independent Voter Project, which is a nonpartisan group that puts out this information. So according to Independent Voter, and I'll put their website I'll put their website on the in the chat for anybody that wants to look at that. But here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Like, this is all about. This is all about disenfranchising voters. It's all about. That's what it's about. In more sugar spiky news, the sugar spikes just don't end. So the guy that you see there used to work for the FBI. His name is Brian Driscoll. Now, the FBI is firing the former acting director, Brian Driscoll, who led the bureau at the start of the Trump administration and refused to turn over a list of agents who worked on January 6 cases. Driscoll, who has returned to a career post at the bureau since departing its top spot, has been asked to leave by Friday, according to sources. He has been viewed as a champion of the bureau's rank and file staff. He declined to turn over a list of the thousands of FBI agents who worked on the investigations into those that stormed the Capitol on January 6th. The request to do so sparked a lawsuit from FBI staff members who feared the list would be used to target agents and could lead to retribution. Driscoll, in a final note to staff shared on LinkedIn by a former FBI staffer, said he was not given a reason for his removal. In his final note, he wrote, quote, "Last night I was informed that tomorrow will be my last day in the FBI. I understand that you may have a lot of questions regarding why, for which I currently have no answers. No cause has been articulated at this time." End of quote. He went on to say, quote, "Please know that it has been the honor of my life to serve alongside each of you. Thank you for allowing me to stand on your shoulders throughout it all. Our collective sacrifices for those we serve is and will always be worth it. I regret nothing. You are my heroes, and I remain in your debt." End of quote. Other outlets have reported that Steve Jensen, the assistant director in charge of the Washington field office, was asked to leave as well, as was also Walter Giardina, an agent who worked on a number of cases involving President Donald John. Steve Jensen's work was cited by the Justice Department just this past Wednesday, which included a quote from him in advertising the arrest of a soldier accused of sharing national defense information with Russia. He was also slated to appear at the Justice Department press conference today, but a deputy came in his stead. FBI Director CashApp, because your mama named you CashApp, so I'm going to call you CashApp. He promoted Steve Jensen to lead the Washington field office in April, and now they're firing him. Don't listen, Mary. You just try to make me spike out. You already know how I feel about Clyburn. We've already talked about Clyburn and how he doesn't give a damn about us in our community. In more sugar spiky news, well, then there's this story. The gentleman you see right there, that would be Utah Senate President J. Stewart Adams. Let me read this to you. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Once again, let me reiterate. This is the president of the Utah State Senate. Here's the story. Trigger warning. Can I get the hall monitors to put a trigger warning in the chat? Please and thank you. An 18-year-old in Utah who was accused of having sex with a 13-year-old avoided jail after the laws governing sexual offenses were changed while his relative was president of the state senate. Oh, you heard that right. Mm-hmm. Senate President J. Stewart Adams confided to legislators that the law relating to his relative's case should be reviewed in a large bill that was passed in 2024. Adams told news outlets, quote, "Some have suggested this charge was made to benefit the case I was made aware of involving the high school senior. That is simply not true. While the sponsor of the bill was aware of the case, I did not request the legislation and did not intervene or give input on the drafting of the bill." End of quote. The fact that the 18-year-old was related to Mr. Adams has raised questions over whether or not the legislation was adopted in order to make the sentencing less strict. While the law did not apply retroactively and the 18-year-old was not charged with the new lower level crime created by the bill, they nonetheless avoided further jail time and were not required to register as a sex offender after the bill was passed. SB 213, a 49-page bill sponsored by Republican Senate Majority Leader Kirk Cullimore, passed into law in March of last year, changing sentencing rules over sex between teenagers. Prior to the bill passing, the 18-year-old could have faced a charge of child rape, a first-degree felony that would have required them to register as a sex offender, along with a prison sentence ranging from 6 years to life in jail. However, the bill allowed a clause that lets 17-year-olds receive a less serious third-degree charge of unlawful sexual activity to be extended to 18-year-olds, provided they were still in high school. The new bill did not apply to cases brought before it became law, but the 18-year-old in question, who was related to Senate President Adams, was not given any jail time beyond the initial week he spent in jail after he pleaded guilty to the reduced charges. He spent 1 week in jail. Prosecutor and defense attorney for the case said in court hearings that the legislation had been crucial to the improved plea deal, telling Judge Rita Cornish at sentencing, quote, "You saw the legislative change. We all agree that's not retroactive, but the government did change their offer based on that," end of quote. So we're changing laws. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. We're changing laws. Just nilly willy. Who cares? Oh, that's my nephew. That's my cousin. That's my relative. Well, I just so happen to be Senate president, so let me get one of my homeboys to craft the legislation to get you off, and then we'll talk to the prosecutors, the district attorney, and tell them, don't worry about don't worry about that sentencing. Don't worry about it. Moving on. Dean Cain, who formerly played Superman, he's in the news. Now, we've known for some time that he is full MAGA. We've known for some time that he is full MAGA. Well, he's so MAGA. Chimera, I don't listen. Chimera, that's over there in Utah, and I'm doing everything I can not to spike out Chimera. So I ain't gonna even ask no questions. I'm doing the best I can not to spike out. That's what I'm doing right now, the best I can. Anyway, he had some things to say about him now being MAGA. Here's the video.
Hey everybody, Dean Cain here. And for those who don't know, I am a sworn law enforcement officer as well as being a filmmaker. I felt it was important to join with our first responders to help secure the safety of all Americans, not just talk about it. So I joined up. And here's your opportunity to join ICE. You can earn lots of great benefits and pay. Yet since President Trump took office, ICE has arrested hundreds of thousands of criminals, including terrorists, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, MS-13 gang members, drug traffickers, you name it. Very dangerous people who are no longer on the streets. You can defend your homeland and get great benefits like a $50,000 signing bonus. Think about that. Student loan repayment legally. Enhanced retirement benefits and special pay for those in the field operations and law enforcement roles. I don't get that special pay, but you also don't need an undergraduate degree. You can get to work right away. So if you want to help save America, ICE is arresting the worst of the worst and removing them from America's streets. I like that. I voted for that. They need your help. We need your help to protect our homeland and our families. So check into it, as I said, and join today if it's something that tickles your fancy. Because
Now we've known Dean Cain is MAGA going back to the first um Trump administration. He's been MAGA going back to the first Trump administration. A lot of people didn't know that. Listen, these people are showing their true colors. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I hate it. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors. True colors are ugly like a pile of shit. I mean, that's what I see. I'm just saying. Lee, that sounds like what it is. It sounds like that. Quiet as it's kept. I ain't gonna even say now. They've been the DEI. They've been uh, 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 uneducated, uninformed, unqualified, uneverything. Hey, Marty. I just wanted y'all to know he works for ICE now. He wants y'all to go and join the ICE army. Yeah, if you go back, he was, over the matter of fact, he was one of the first few celebrities during Trump's not unwashed. That's true too, Lito. During Trump's 45 campaign, he was one of the first few celebrities that came out and supported Trump. Did. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, we talked about that yesterday, Cindy Alex. Mm-hmm. Oh no, you don't need that for ICE. You don't need none of that. And they took away the age restrictions. Yeah, you don't need none of it. None of it. Moving on. So I wanted to talk to get this story out. You know, every now and again I have to cover some of these stories because mainstream media won't. So the black woman that you see in the blue shirt, her name is Amila Majors, excuse me. Let me read this to you. The top prosecutor in Spotsylvania County, Virginia, says his office is giving its full attention to the reported attack on July 20th on Amila Majors and Jamaria Gaskins, a married black lesbian couple who say they were chased, threatened at gunpoint, and nearly killed in what they described as a racially motivated hate crime. The attorney, Virginia's attorney Ryan Mahaffey said, quote, I am taking the case very seriously and immediately requested a thorough investigation of all the facts and circumstances when the case first came to my attention, which is underway. All relevant charges, including potential hate crime charges, will be considered upon completion of the investigation. Our office vigorously prosecutes crimes. End of quote. Now on Sunday, July 20th, Majors and Gaskins were driving on Partlow Road, a wooded two-lane stretch on rural Spotsylvania County. In rural Spotsylvania County, about 60 miles north of Richmond and 65 miles southwest of Washington, D.C., when they hit debris and pulled over to inspect their vehicle. What followed, Major said, was a violent encounter with three white people who emerged from a nearby home and began shouting racial slurs and threats. Quote, we were chased, threatened with firearms, and called racial slurs by three white individuals, who you see there, who acted as if they were part of a white supremacist group. Two women and two men, and one woman. Two of them physically attacked my wife while brandishing a gun and shouting threats. They called us niggers, told us we didn't belong there, and one of them even exposed himself while screaming hate and slurs at us. End of quote. And that's what Amila Majors uh has stated. She said she was on the phone with the police during the confrontation. Um, she said, quote, as we tried to leave, all three of them jumped into vehicles and chased us down the road. One of them rode up beside us on a four-wheeler and aimed a gun directly at my head through the driver's window. In that moment, we truly believed we weren't going to make it out alive. End of quote. The couple's vehicle crashed during the chase. Quote, I was ejected from the car. I woke up in the hospital with a fractured spine, broken clavicle, broken rib, severe concussion, and multiple head injuries that required a staple. I am beyond grateful to be alive. End of quote. She said. She said uh her wife walked away with minor physical injuries. Uh but went on to say, quote, we were both assaulted, traumatized, and nearly killed. This was not just an accident. This was an attempted act of violence meant to harm and silence us. We would not be silenced. End of quote. The Spotsylvania County Sheriff's Office charged Elizabeth Walfrey, 32, with brandishing a firearm, and Mark Goodman, 59, with indecent exposure after video footage appeared to show him exposing himself and shouting slurs. A third person seen in the video has not been charged. Investigators say the case remains active. In a written response to news outlets, Major Delbert Myrick, a spokesperson for the Spotsylvania Sheriff's Office, confirmed that the investigation remains wide ranging. Quote, the investigation includes all individuals observed in the video. No one will be excluded from potential charges until the investigation is fully concluded. End of quote, he said. He also addressed public concern over delays in sharing information. Though the incident occurred on July 20th, the sheriff's office did not post a public statement until July 30th. Quote, the decision to delay a public news release was based on concerns for the victim's safety. An immediate release could have revealed their location and potentially exposed them to further harm and victimization. Once we confirmed that the victims had been discharged and their safety was no longer at immediate risk, we proceeded with the release to ensure transparency while still prioritizing their well-being. End of quote. Responding to broader concerns about racism and public safety in the county, he said, quote, Spotsylvania is a diverse and safe community. The particular incident and associated video understandably invokes emotions such as fear, anxiety, and frustration. We at the sheriff's office share these feelings and stand united with our community in condemning all forms of hate, racism, and the use of racial slurs. This behavior has no place in Spotsylvania County or any other community. End of quote. Now, Amila and her wife were in the area visiting family in neighboring Caroline County. She said, quote, this was hate, targeted, deliberate, and deadly. End of quote. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. A mess. A mess. Cymera says Spotsylvania is definitely like that. They definitely backwoods and racist as hell. I don't know where this is. Listen, I don't know nothing about Virginia. You do understand that this was the capital of the Confederacy. Was. So I can only imagine in some of those backwoods. Listen, when I travel, I'm not going on no 2-lane highways in the middle of the backwoods. I'm only doing interstates. That's it. That's all. I'm not traveling on no. If it means I got to take a longer route, beautiful. long as I get there safely. But what I'm not doing is traveling on these little dirt roads with Rufus and Roscoe and Jedediah and all of these people. Not doing it. Can't do it. Won't do it. We're praying for Amila and her wife, and we hope we wish her a speedy recovery, and we certainly want justice for her for them and because of these atrocities. In our last sugar spiky story, Uncle Jay's boyfriend in his head. Is that Uncle Jay's boyfriend in his head, or is that Xavier's boyfriend in his head? One of them, this y'all boyfriend in y'all head. Jason Lee finds himself in the fucking news in our sugar spike segment to close out the segment. Yeah, we do need to update a green book. You're right about that, Felicia. I believe we reported that somebody made an app similar to the green book. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Felicia, there was an app that was similar to the green book that was created by someone. If I'm not mistaken, we reported on that. That is not you, Uncle Jay. Jason Lee is not your boy. That's not your boo thing. That look like Xavier type. Oh, okay. That's what I told my husband when we down south to when we drove down south to South Carolina. Ain't no speeding or fucking around or traveling on the highway at night. And it's like, baby, you can't play around with them people. Honey. Well, Jason Lee is in the news. The Stockton City Manager's Office announced an internal investigation Monday after it claimed $50,000 in public funds from the city's risk mitigation fund were improperly used for an event introduced by Vice Mayor Jason Lee. The fact that y'all really elected this clown to the city council and then subsequently as vice mayor is well beyond my level of comprehension. I remember when we reported that this clown was even running. I cannot. According to the city manager Steve Colangelo, a sitting council member Jason Lee facilitated the use of $50,000 toward the event Wildin' Out. You know, the little Nick Cannon event Wildin' Out, without the necessary approval. Additionally, Colangelo said he has concerns about how Lee engaged with city staff and event promoters. He said lines between policymaking and administration may have been crossed. Wildin' Out is a sketch comedy and battle rap improv game show created and hosted by actor and artist and comedian Nick Cannon. The show, which has aired on MTV and VH1, is filmed in front of a live audience. Lee, who has relationships with celebrities, including Nick Cannon, brought the show to Stockton, California on May 24th. Quote, let's be clear, Nick and the Wildin' Out team came to Stockton as a favor to me to turn this city up and prove that we deserve world-class partnerships like Nick, Rip Michaels, and 5120 Entertainment. The attacks on our hardworking city staff for simply doing their jobs beyond disappointing. End of quote. And that's what Jason Lee said on his social media. He said he was made aware of the conspiracy weeks ago, referring to the allegations. He said the city claims he brought Wildin' Out to Stockton and influenced decisions so Nick Cannon, his friends, and himself could profit. He's on record saying, quote, to my haters, if you can't outwork me in policy, opportunity, or inspiration, work harder, because making up lies to do reputational harm won't work when I've got the heart of the people. Shout out to our amazing city staff for showing up every day despite the politics. Stockton, we're just getting started. End of quote. The city's investigation will reportedly determine how the alleged missing funds were authorized, who was involved, and whether any city policies or procedures were bypassed. Now listen, Jason, I can't stand people who say, why is there politics involved? Bitch, you're a politician. The fuck do you mean there's no politics inside? You are a politician for the city of Stockton. Of course there's politics involved. Thus, you being called a fucking politician. That'd be like a medical doctor saying, there's no medicine involved here. You're a fucking medical doctor. That's your whole fucking job. Now, Jason, see, this is not the neighborhood talk that you control. This ain't Instagram. This ain't, you're not gonna win this through Instagram or TikTok or X, formerly Twitter. This is an actual municipality, sir. Sir, there's a city manager whose job it is to track these things and make sure that the city is managed appropriately. He would be the one that would investigate and report how funds were used and appropriated. You can't just go in there and say, oh, we was out here for the city. The people, I'm in the people's heart. The people believe in me. That may be true. But if your ass misappropriated funds, if you used them incorrectly, your ass might go to jail. You can't run taxpayer money like you run the neighborhood talk, sir. I'm just saying. There are rules and policies in place. And if the city manager says, hey, bruh, something don't look right here, I'm inclined to believe him. You want to know why? Because, sir, you had no experience in politics, city management, or anything of the such prior to you running. This was all a publicity stunt for you. It's all clicks and views for you. But there are actual, those employees you shouted out, they have jobs to do. They are civil servants and they are doing the work of the people. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But Mr. Colangelo and the rest of them are doing the work of the people. I hope they run you into the ground. Throw his ass in jail. Lock his ass up. I'm just saying. Not turn up. Right. I mean, I don't know. It's called stealing, right? Like, Ravine, listen, I can't stand him, okay? Right, Jason O to be that. He's a clown. He's a whole fucking clown. Hey, Cassandra, you all right, boo? Baby, we don't have this type of time. Sir, go with God. As we belly flop out of the sugar spike segment and further into the dossier, Busta Bus finds himself in the news. Yeah, Busta Bus. Not a deflated elevator. Y'all know what? Hey, Lock Queen, I'm not doing this with you, Chef Don Don. I am not doing this with you, Aquarius. Look at you. Look, y'all are clowning in this chat. Listen, Busta Bus, Busta, what it is right now. Busta, what it is right now. Aha, aha. Aha, aha. Well, Busta Bus is being sued. Now he's facing serious accusations from his former assistant, who says working with him was nothing short of abuse. Dashiell Gables, who began working for him in 2024, just last year, for $200 a day. That's it? $200 a day? I wish a bitch would tell me I'm only making $200 a day. The fuck? I guess. Who began working for Busta in 2024 for $200 a day, has filed a lawsuit claiming the legendary MC created a toxic work and dangerous work environment. He alleges he was regularly screamed at, spit on, and forced to work brutal 18-hour shifts without overtime. The breaking point reportedly came in 2025 when he says a disagreement in the lobby of his Busta's Brooklyn residence turned physical. After ignoring a phone call from his daughter and texting her back instead, Gables claimed Busta became enraged and punched him in the face twice, sending him to the hospital. He says later he had to file a police report and says he's been iced out of the music industry ever since. His lawsuit accuses Busta of assault, battery, wage theft, and emotional distress, and he's seeking damages for lost future earnings. Busta Rhymes is calling foul, though. In a statement, he strongly denied the claims, saying Gables was only with him for a short time and is now trying to damage his reputation after being let go. The rapper says he's preparing a countersuit and is confident the truth will come out. I'm inclined to believe the man. I'm just saying. I'm inclined to believe this man. I ain't gonna even hold you. I am inclined. I don't know, D Johnson. It might have been. I ain't seen it. I'm inclined to believe that. I think the man's telling the truth. You know, you've been violent for a long time, Busta, you've been violent for a long ass time. There are so many verified reports and so forth of your temperament and your violence. I'm inclined to believe this man. The man got a call from his daughter and didn't even answer his daughter's phone call. Instead, texted her. You got mad. They say you broke the man's phone and punched him in the face twice. He did just get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That was just a few days ago. Oh, Xavier, we just talked about your boo thing. See your boo thing right there, Xavier? You just missed the story on your boo thing. Jason Lee. Anyway, Busta, I hope the man take you to the cleaners. Because I believe everything about that. You did go and tell other people you don't hire him. You did. I know you did. The man said you punched him in the face twice. I believe him. You did it. I believe all of it. He's been arrested a few times for it, Chef Don Don. Your history of violence is well documented, sir. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, he off your list now? Because I know that was your boo thing. Now all of a sudden, because he lost weight, he ain't your boo thing no more? I guess. Busta, I would tell you to go with God, but I don't wish anything good for you. Go to hell. For those parents out there, Skechers has unveiled a new kids tracking system. They have a secret AirTag slot for worry-free tracking. They're introducing this design with a unique detail that parents are going to love. The Find My Skechers collection features a concealed space under the insole specifically designed to hold an Apple AirTag. The compartment is built beneath the heel and secured with a screw-on lid, keeping the AirTag firmly in place. The design helps prevent children from tampering with it and makes it harder for someone to remove. According to the product listing, the feature allows for, quote, easy tracking and comfort of mind, end of quote. Sizes are available from toddler through age 8, with pricing starting at $52. The AirTag, $52 today, but with the tariffs, it may be $100. The AirTag and screwdriver are sold separately. While the feature is marketed as a way to recover misplaced shoes, it also gives parents a discreet way to keep track of their children. Supporters see it as a safety tool, while critics argue it normalizes constant monitoring. Two things. I don't know how y'all say that sizes are available from toddler through age 8. You don't know. Some of these kids out here at 8 years old be wearing grown men sizes. Like shoe sizes don't go by your age. Shoe sizes go by size. Okay. And so every 8-year-old, you know what that's a dumb thing for them to say right there. Anyway, y'all getting some? That's my next point, Chef Don. What kids gonna wear them? I don't know none of these black kids that's gonna wear. None of my nieces and nephews ain't gonna wear them. If I buy some Skechers for my nieces and nephews, they're gonna look at me like I lost my goddamn mind. I bring that to them, they're gonna be like, "Where the fuck you going with that? Like, where's you going with that?" Baby, they gonna do them sketches like people been doing them Rashida concert tickets. Baby, listen, they gonna do them sketches. Them kids go do them sketches like y'all been doing Rashida concert tickets all over TikTok. What if they take the shoe off? Well, then there's that. Well, at least you'll know where the shoes are. You may not know what the child is, but you'll know what the shoe is. Well, Skechers doesn't make the it's the Apple it will be you know the Apple AirTag. So you would be tracking it via your Apple services. I've been wearing an 11 since 6th grade. I'll take that back. I start at 6th grade, I was wearing a 10 and a half. And then 7th grade, I went up to 11. Been wearing it since then. Child. You want the children on a leash, little baby? You know what? Listen, my nieces and nephews will not be wearing that trash. Baby, I'm trying to tell you. Trying to tell you. Anyway, moving on. Satan's bed wench. Erica Mena is in the news. Cause y'all can't make me believe she's not Satan's bed wench. She recently opened up about her most talked about moment on Love and Hip Hop that caused her to get fired. She did this on Nene's podcast. When asked about her spat with Spice, where she called her a monkey and was later fired, she said, quote, "It wasn't said because I was racist. I said it because it was more of an appearance thing. It wasn't skin related at all." End of quote. She went on to say, quote, "People have selective outrage because it's the woman you guys are going so hard for, but she literally had a whole media campaign about becoming a white woman." End of quote. What we ain't gonna do, Erica, we're not gonna rehash this with you, Erica. You are Satan's fucking bed wench, you raggedy whore. We are not gonna go back over this with you, Erica. We dog walked you back then for this. We told you how this was wrong. We told you we didn't want no parts of you. Your ass was kicked off the show. I don't know why. I don't even blame you for this. I blame Nene Leakes for fucking interviewing your stinking ass. We don't give a damn about you. We summarily hope that you would sooner rot and die before giving us whatever fucked up explanation that you're trying to give us about why you called that woman a monkey. You ain't shit now. You wasn't shit then. You ain't gonna never be shit. Right, you called the woman a whole ass monkey. Now you're like, I wasn't being racist. My children are black. Because you have a black penis inside of you, ma'am, does not give you a black card, that doesn't give you proximity to blackness, that doesn't allow you to do things that the black diaspora does. None of that. None of it. You ain't shit now. You ain't never gonna be shit. Just a mess. A damn mess. This y'all girl, I don't want no parts of. I don't deal with her. That's why when she be over here crying about Safari and his fuck shit, baby, I only feel bad for them cheering. I don't give a shit about you, Erica. I only feel bad for them cheering. Moving on. Kelly Clark skank is in the news. So now she's around here she done postponed her residency again. Now remember, she canceled the first show and stuff, for family reasons, and people wanted their money back. And remember that we reported on that here. Well, she's now canceling shows because her baby daddy and ex-husband, he died due to complications from cancer. Did so her ex-husband, we learned he died today. Well, I don't know if it might have been last night. But he died after complications stemming from cancer. They were recently divorced, but she announced that she's postponing her Las Vegas residency. Now, people are up in arms and like, listen, people are vile like that. They don't give a damn. They're like, give us our fucking money back. The woman and her children are grieving. And y'all around here talk about we need our money back. That I don't know. You might be right. I don't remember. You might be right, Ronald. I don't know. I don't remember. His name was Brandon Blackstone, though. I mean, Blackstock. Excuse me. I don't know if that's Reba's son or not. I don't remember. I don't. Anyway, I do know he was a manager for Blake Shelton and Rascal Flatts. I do know that. But I don't know if he was Reba's son or not. I don't know. But I know he did at the age of 48. Oh, he's her stepson. Oh, okay. Okay. He's dead at the age of 48. Anyway, we're praying for you and your family as you all grieve Kelly Clark skank. I like Kelly Clark skank. I really like her. She's a great singer. I like her. A moment like this, some people wait a lifetime. But we'll be praying for you and your family. We solved the mystery. Now, yesterday, we reported on the mystery of y'all around here throwing dildos and shit all over the fucking place. Remember that? Well, that young man right there is Caden Lopez, 18-year-old Caden Lopez. Well, he was arrested. He was arrested at the August 5th Phoenix Mercury game after throwing the green dildo from his seat. It hit a man in the back and landed next to his 9-year-old niece. Now video footage shows him sitting in his seat, retrieved the green dildo from his sweater pocket. Oh, we were asking that yesterday. Retrieving the dildo from his sweater pocket and throwing it forward. He then stood up and left the arena. Because I was asking, well, where do you hold this? So they say he had on a hoodie and it was inside the pocket of the hoodie, and he took it out of there. But he's been arrested and booked on charges of disorderly conduct, assault, and public display of explicit sexual material. But that's him, 18 years old. Go ahead and ruin your whole life. He said that it was a whole prank and that he was following in the lines of all of the other people who was throwing these dildos all over the place. I read Ronald's comment and almost choked. Ronald, you got to prepare me. I'm over here trying to have a swig of water and damn near choking to death. Right, green girl. I'm over here minding my own fucking business, watching the game, rooting for my WNBA player of choice, only for something to hit my back like, what the fuck? And then it land over here by my 9-year-old niece that I done brought to this game. Maybe she played, want to be a WNBA player. And now I got to explain to my 9-year-old niece what this big green ass dildo is. My 9-year-old little niece don't know what the fuck a dildo is. At least I hope she don't. Child. But listen, sir, get a life, okay? You done ruined your your own record because you over there with the fuck shit. Child. We don't feel no ways about it, sir. You did it, so you deserve the punishment. Good with God. She ain't gonna never forget it, Lee. She ain't. In our last story of the day, speaking of which, let me make sure. Let me see if really be going live. Hold on, let me see what time she going live. So I could already have that set up. We already a little bit late anyway. In our last story of the day, NBA YoungBoy is in the news. So apparently he's over here setting records and stuff. He's over here setting records and stuff. Oh, really? Be she'll have nothing set up to 8 o'clock. Okay. We'll definitely be out here by then. So he recently reduced his album. I don't know if it's Massa or MASA, but that was his 34th album to chart on the Billboard 200 and officially made him the rapper with the most entries on the Billboard 200 chart of all time. For those curious, the previous record holder was E40. His LP, I should say, debuted at number 6 on the chart with 49,000 album equivalent units sold in its first week in the US. It also marks his 16th top 10 album on the Billboard 200. He's tied with Jay-Z and Nas for the third most top 10 entries among rappers. Number 1 is Drake at it's Future with 18 and Drake with 17 at number 2. So as for NBA YoungBoy, I guess we're supposed to, congratulate him. Sir, you're a pariah. You are. The man got like, don't he got like 18 children or something like that? Didn't he just get Floyd Mayweather raggedy ass daughter pregnant again? The one who stabbed his other baby mama in the stomach while she was pregnant? Like the man got like, is he still on house arrest or did he get out? Listen, let me see how many kids does NBA young boy have. Now, according to this, he only got 4. I thought he had like double digit cheering. Okay, so I'm looking at the. According to this, they said he just announced his 13th child that he's expecting with his wife Jaslyn, and the one that Yaya Mayweather just talked about would be number 14. Okay, I went wrong. So yeah, so he already announced that his wife Jaslyn is pregnant with his 13th, and the one that Yaya Mayweather says she pregnant with him by would be number 14. Is his music really that good? Like I can't name you one song by NBA YoungBoy. I just cannot. Can't name you not one. Is his music good? That's your generation, Xavier. Is his music good or something? Like the fact that he's in the same breath as Nas and Jay-Z, 2 of the top 5 rappers of all time, is beyond my level of comprehension. Not that he looked like weak. Speaking of weak, wait, let's do the side by side. Wait, let's do the side by side. Hold on. Do we see any resemblance between him and Weed with the side by side comparison? Is there any resemblance between him and Weed? Y'all know this is probably like day number 7 in a row, show number 7 in a row. We are on, let's see how many days we can find real reasons to bring up Weed. I think we're on, listen, I think this is day number 6 or 7 of consecutive lives where we've had to bring up Weed. Y'all just gonna keep this streak going, huh? Y'all gonna keep the Weed streak going? That's our girl. Weed is gonna become the unofficial mascot of the L Teddy 27. She's gonna become our unofficial mascot at some point. I'm just saying. Y'all love bringing Wig up in here. You say they twin in the ravine. You know what? Girl, yeah, that is your man up here causing this ruckus, Janae. Talking about he look like he do look like he could be your son, Wig. Wig. That look like that's your son. He look more like you did Sean Kingston do. And Sean Kingston, you shitted out of your coochie hole. You farted Sean Kingston out, and he don't look nothing like you. But this dude do look a lot more like you than Sean Kingston do. Mm-hmm. Child, y'all gonna let Wig live on. Let's see. If on the next live, y'all find a reason to have Wig on our screen again. Shout out to Wig. Listen, y'all, that's the dossier for today. Listen, y'all, that is the dossier for today. We about to get out of here. I know tomorrow is Friday. I will not be live tomorrow. Unfortunately, I have to go. Me and some friends are going to go visit. A friend of mine just got his cancer just became terminal, and they just transferred him to hospice. So me and some of my friends were going to go ride down and see him tomorrow and spend a day with him over in hospice. So keep me in your prayers. I'll be back on Saturday for Silly Saturday, but keep me in your prayers as we are I'll be doing that tomorrow. Excuse me, tomorrow. So yeah, keep me in your prayers. But we'll be back on Saturday for Silly Saturday. Anyway, as I always say, y'all, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They're much obliged. They're much appreciated. If you would like to contribute to the platform, there's the QR code there. We're trying to keep the lights on, okay? We need to keep these lights on. We need to keep the lights on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, y'all. Thank y'all for y'all prayers. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. If you enjoyed the show, go ahead and put a shondo in the chat. Let the people know that you enjoyed the show. What the likes are looking like. We need to have at least 50 likes. Can we get at least 50 likes? Please and thank you. Let's see what the likes are looking like. 62. Okay, that's good. We're doing good. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Oh, take this out of my mouth. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Listen, we'll be back on Saturday for Silly Saturday and do all of those things. Lay around for Silly Saturday on a Saturday. We're gonna do what we can to make it one for the books, like we always do. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. I love y'all. I will see y'all on Saturday.